About 42 minutes she's on the forklift, boys and girls. Pretty good job.
A bunch of amateurs.
Amateurs. We got the head bolts. We're missing one head bolt. We got the head on. Did you got head bolt? We're supposed to have 26. I only got 25.
That's awesome, man.
Hey.
We good?
You didn't steal my head bolt, did you?
You got bolts about that big? Hi, bub. Get up off my impact.
Are you gonna tighten the motor mount bolts up with that? That's getting tight, ain't it? All right, we're back on the dozer with no oil project again, ain't we? Randy's digging stuff out of the trash. What are you doing over there, Randy?
Recycling.
You guys have been watching the video. I think there's 4 or 5 videos that'll all be linked in the description below. We're looking our tail today, ain't we? So, you guys know the last video, I wasn't happy with the way this thing sounds. It's got a real slight tick in it. Seems to be from piston area. We think we may know what it is. We've been doing a little testing. I've been trying to run through everything. Been doing cylinder cutout test. We pressurized the radiator. It's got a little tick in it. It sounds like connecting rods or wrist pin bushings. So you guys watched it, a full rebuild. I did reuse 4 connecting rods. If you remember, 2 of them spun the bearings in this thing because they run this thing without oil. I'm thinking, me and Kevin's listening, we think the tick sound's coming from number 4 or 5 cylinder. I think I picked 4, he's picked 5. Pretty confident it's around somewhere. These are actually the 2 rods that come out that spun the bearings that got hot on the crank. So guys, we put a new crank in this thing. Basically I got it, it was inoperative, it was drained of oil. Somebody started without oil. Messed a bunch of stuff up inside. Anyway, it's been a nightmare. So 99% of the people would never know that thing's making that little bit of noise, but I've had too much experience with these things and know it's not right. So we don't want to send it out to our customers. But I did measure, I don't remember, I have to go back in the video. I don't think I even videoed all this, but I measured the bushings and the rods that we reused. And the couple, I don't know if I measured all 4 of them. I think I only measured a couple and thought, well, they're all going to be good. Like these 2 here, one of these is actually good. The other one is way out of spec. You can actually hear this thing clanging in here. I don't know which one it is. This one here is a lot looser. You guys can kind of hear that little sound. That's the sound we think this engine's making. I'll throw a little clip in there from this morning. You guys might be able to hear it up on camera. So this camera does a good job of picking up those sounds that actually makes them a lot louder than what they actually seem to be in person. So for some reason this camera picks up impact sounds. They get close, it really amplifies them. But same way with this little tick sound, it sounds way worse on camera than what it is in person. But anyway, we're thinking that some of those rods that we reused are actually ovaled out, egg shaped. So most of your power is in this angle here on a straight up and down engine. So these bushings are actually egg-shaped just a little bit. Now one of these is way worse than the other. One's in spec and the other one is not. So the only thing I can figure is I may have not got one measured right or didn't measure it. We plastic gauged the bottom end when we did that and everything. So it's got a new crank in it. Number 1 and number 2 connecting rods are the remain ones I got from John Deere. So hopefully those aren't the issue. I think it's part my fault. So we've got the book out here. We've been looking at specs and all that kind of stuff. So fortunately, what we're going to do is yank the freaking motor out again. So I don't know what else to do with it. I don't want to sell it to somebody like that. It may last a long time. It may come apart tomorrow. So we're not going to do that. So since we got new antifreeze and everything in it, the guys are going to save the antifreeze. We're going to drain it out, get the cab tilted out. Kevin's going to help us, and we're going to yank the engine out of it. You guys remember last time I had this thing out by myself in an hour and a half. Randy was handing me tools, so we should be able to get it out fairly quickly. Had a lot of people too saying, hey, why don't you do an end frame on this thing? You guys got to remember this motor was completely taken out and put back in. Bolts are missing. You guys have to go back and watch that. But I've had the oil pan off these. They're a pain in the butt. I'll come down there and show you guys what I'm talking about if you can see. But the problem is you've got to jack the engine up, take the motor mounts loose, jack it up just to get this pan slid out. And the problem is we've got this big equalizer bar right here, and number 5 and 6 cylinders are up over top of it, so you'll dealing with dirt, grease, and all that crap under there. You're upside down, just can't do that good of a job. And I'm guessing it would take me an hour at least to get that oil pan off. We still have to take the head and all that stuff off, so I'm saying probably an hour and 15 minutes we can probably have that whole motor out. Same amount of time. We can do a way better job. We'll put it on the engine stand and get her apart and see what's going on with it. So I'm going to throw you guys on time lapse here because you guys seen us taking this thing out and all that good stuff, but we'll bring you back when we get ready to pull it out, and then we'll get it on the engine stand and take her apart. All right, got the cab up, we got our tools laid out. This is just like the NHRA.
That's right.
Kevin's done started.
Up in the rebuild.
It's 9:14.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's do it.
we'll check back when we're yanking her out. We'll put you guys on time lapse. $9.50, bud.
Smoke break time.
We're getting a little rusty. We're getting ready to yank her out. That was, yep. It was about 35 minutes, 36 minutes. Just like NASCAR pit crew.
Yeah, buddy.
Cut your wheels that way and back up a little bit. That's good, now back up. Back up. Go up. Go up. pound motor. About 42 minutes she's on the forklift, boys and girls. Pretty good job.
A bunch of amateurs.
Amateurs. It's kind of like we've done it
No
before.
tools.
42 minutes, bud. She's out. She's out. All right, getting her bolted up the engine stand again. So,
Answering some hate mail today.
hurry up, Randy. So everybody was very concerned in the previous videos that these two little chains were not going to pick up this 2,500 pound motor. You guys watch us use these chains all the time. These are actually from the military. That thing is rated at 10,000 pounds. One chain's rated at 10,000 pounds lift capacity. You guys see they got the special hooks and stuff on them. So we've got 20,000 pounds in chains picking up a 2,500 pound motor. I'm pretty sure it's okay. So always got, they don't look that big, but those chains are way stronger than most other chains. Somebody's even asking about the ones on the crane. The big ones we use, they're rated at 20,000 pounds a piece. So they're like grade 120, 150 chains. I don't know, but way overkill for what we're doing. So I guess somebody was concerned about us.
Hey, a lot of people that are concerned.
We might give this thing a little bit of quick bath. Randy washed the tractor off. It's got a little bit of dirt on it. Get it sprayed off a little bit before we take it apart. We'll get oil drained out, cleaned up. We'll bring you guys back in when we get her opened up. Okay, you ready? Nice and clean. Mm-hmm. 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 Think if I do that enough, it'll be okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I know we double checked all the numbers, made sure they were right. Alright, got the engine flipped over. We're unbolting stuff off. We're going to take the head off of it. And yes, we did pull the valve cover off, double checked the valves. They were all good. We did reset them all again, because somebody's going to ask us about that.
That's right.
We've been through everything that we can think of. We think we got it narrowed down. So Kevin's got the turbo off.
Kevin got peed on by
Kevin
the
got
turbo.
peed on by antifreeze out of his turbo. I think if your nickname was Turbo Kevin, you'd know this stuff.
No, I don't play with the turbos that got the antifreeze in them. That's just not right.
Alright, we're going to get the injector lines off, get the rocker shaft out of there, pull some push rods out, and get the head off. We'll bring you guys back when we get ready to do that. Going up. Okay. Back straight up. Alright, Mr. Kevin's putting some bolts in here. We're holding these liners down, so we do not want these popping up while we're rotating the engine or turning her over. Looking for my flashlight. Everything's looking good in here. We got a nice clean spray pattern. That star is what the injector spray pattern is. Of course, we got nice cross hatching everywhere. Beautiful. It looks like a new engine. Is that right?
Brand new, Bobby.
I think, what are we doing? Flipping it over? We got all of our parts laid out here. We're flipping it over and,
Upright.
yeah, we've not seen anything out of the ordinary at all so far, so. We're gonna flip her over. I guess we'll pull some pistons out, do some deciphering. What I got?
Oh, Bob.
Okay, I think we found the problem.
We did a bunch of boring stuff. That's why.
We did. So apparently number 1 and number 6 is my 2 new rods.
They're pretty.
We've been measuring everything. 1.877 with that's the new spec.
Yep.
Of course, we got that in our 2 new rods. But we found the big hammer. We got one that's 1.888. That's way out of spec. These are all close. That's the one that was making the noise.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't know. I must have missed that measuring it. So measures all right this way, not that way. We measured bearing clearances in here. Everything looks excellent, brand new looking. It should be because it doesn't have 2 or 3 hours on it. So we did go ahead and measure the new pistons. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and order 4 new rods just to be on the safe side. I'm going to get 6 new wrist pins. Those are the original ones. They measure out okay, but just to be on the safe side, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to get some new parts coming, and we'll be back. All right, it's the next day. You know what today is?
Friday?
Friday the 13th.
Oh.
We're just like doomed from the start. Mr. Randy picked us up a bunch of new parts. Kevin's got new rods in here. Looking nice. They come with new rod bolts. They're not reusable. We got new head bolts, got new rocker shaft bolts. What else we get? We got some gaskets. So yesterday off camera, we did go ahead and put number 1 and number 6 back in there because they were new. We're going to go ahead and slam these back in there. Everybody's been asking on the last video if I was losing money on this deal. I was probably maybe at the break-even point last time, but there's another $3,000 worth of parts here, and fortunately, we're not making money.
And we're going to open up a GoFundMe page.
I wonder what Kenny Rogers would do right now.
He'd fold them.
He'd fold them. He'd done what it folded him. Yeah, so everything's not rosy as it seems to be a lot of times. And this was my screw up also, so I have to be a little more careful next time. It's bad when you get something you don't know the condition of it to begin with, and you're trying to play detective, but it happens. So, all right, we're ready to get the ring compressor. We're gonna drop 4 pistons in there, and then we'll probably roll it over and throw the bearing caps on them, and go from there. It's just that easy. We just gotta put the front towards the front. It'll be golden. You gonna lube those up there? All right, we got the oil pan on, got all the things torqued up. What do you call those things? Rod bearings?
Which ones?
The things we torqued under there.
Caps?
Rod caps. We got the head bolts. We're missing one head bolt. We got the head on. Did you got head bolt? We're supposed to have 26. Only got 25.
That's awesome, man.
Hey,
We good?
you didn't steal my head bolt, did you?
You got bolts about that big?
Well, look at that pocket
Hey,
bulging.
Hey, is this one it?
That's it, Bubby.
No.
What are you gonna do? Put
Sell
that in your small block
Hey,
Chevy?
sell that.
Yeah.
How much do they get for them at John Deere? He'll
A-
sell it
a
to you
lot.
at cost.
Yeah, it cost.
You gotta put oil on it. Oh, not on your boots.
That's all right.
Got oil under here.
If you need 26 more,
Freaking swipey.
I can get you a good deal on some.
The ones on the floor that's only a few days old.
I'll clean them up and resell them to you.
Not supposed to reuse these bolts. It even says that on there, no reuse. So I didn't. We threw $230 worth of bolts away.
Oh, no, we'll find reasons.
Oh, there you go, Uncle Scott. Fill your pockets up. I won't weigh you today.
Okay. Good deal. Friday the 13th.
All right, torquing the head bolts down. You guys watched previous videos. These things have a wacky torque sequence. They go to 60 foot-pounds and they turn 90 degrees 3 times. So we're going 270 degrees. You guys notice we got paint marks on here. When we get done, they should all be lined up with the crankshaft. So they're on the last bit right there. We'll double check, make sure everything's parallel with the crankshaft. When I marked them at first, they're here and we've turned them. This is our third time turning them. Called torque to yield bolts. Not a big fan of them, but that's what makes the world go around. We'll probably set the intake on next, and then we'll get the rocker shaft in. We got new bolts for it because they are non-reuse also. After Kevin falls down, and then we'll get the valves set. Be getting close to stabbing her back in there after lunch. We gonna have her running today?
It depends on what lunch does.
That does. All right, we're gonna get after it. All right, we're DU in. Done. Right before lunch. DU in, isn't that how you spell it? I got that one, Bubby. Got a brand new brand new $700 muffler on there. The other one was leaking a little bit out the bottom, so. All right, we're all done with this. We're gonna eat lunch. We're gonna stab her in after lunch.
You're going to get us a case of Dirty Whitey?
No.
Gutbusters?
I'm going to Mexican. Where are you going?
Oh,
White Castle.
I was going to hit up the White Castle.
Crave.
You can probably go on home after that. We don't need you around here no more.
You know.
All right, got the motor all hooked up. Up, Randy. We're gonna stab her in there again. Take two. tightening up 4 bolts on the pump down here. Kevin's down there getting the 2 bottom ones. We got the 2 top ones in. Can you see, bud?
Yep.
Okay. I got another wrench for you to lock in there. Get those tight, get the top tight. Then we've got 3 bolts to go on in the back and 4 on the front. Gotta get those lined up, and then we'll be ready to start hooking up accessories.
Hi, Bob. Can't off my impact.
Are you gonna tighten the motor mount bolts up with that? That's getting tight, ain't it? Where'd you get that new tool at?
Red Dog.
Snap off. What's it say?
Snap off 5,000, bub.
Man.
It's a limited edition.
I guarantee the motor ain't coming out here this time.
That's right.
She ain't going nowhere, bud. Easy, don't break your wrist off.
Torque's over pretty big.
All right, we got all the motor mount bolts in, tightened up. We're gonna get all the parts put on and some fluids. I gotta put the firewall hoop on and hopefully fire it up here yet today. All right, about an hour and a half time we had the thing in there, got fluids in it. That's not bad. Kevin's finishing up the engine oil. I put antifreeze in it. Where's my bolt at, Uncle Scott?
Got them bolts in.
That's a good thing. We got them all. Kevin broke one off with his new impact over there, though.
What an idiot.
Have you seen his new impact?
Yeah.
Red Dog sent it to him. Hear that? Just a getting it.
But you ain't got nothing like that.
We were checking the performance of it this morning.
Oh, you got the fuel turned on over there?
Nope.
Nope. Turn it on. We'll double check everything. We need to set the cab down to stage 1. We're about there, ain't we?
We is.
Ready to fire up. Well, it's a moment of truth.
It's good now.
You think it's gonna go?
Yeah.
All right, we got the key on, cycled some fuel through it. Were you looking for leaks?
Hey, if it don't work this
Don't be
time,
making any ticky, knocky,
if it
knocky.
don't work this time, drag it outside, we'll pour diesel fuel all over it and call it an accident.
Oh yeah, I think you just said it on camera.
Oh, well, we don't need that. Never mind.
All right, contact. No fuel yet.
Shut up.
No leaks anywhere.
Don't see anything over here yet.
Ready to try again. It sounds better. I can hear it already. Got good oil pressure. Better? Sounds a lot better. a lot better, don't it?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Don't hear that knocky.
No more knocky knocky. You know, this camera makes those sounds way worse than what they actually are. Does sound a lot better though. Alright, been double checking everything, got the fluids topped off, wrote some hours on the filters, wrote on there, got a new engine. I'm gonna back her outside and let her run for a little bit. And make sure we don't have any leaks. Alright, I think that's a wrap on this dude. Let her run out there for a little while. Seems all good. No leaks, no big noises. Sounds and looks all normal, so hopefully you guys like this. I could have not done this video, but we did. Screw up. Everybody screws up every once in a while. I think we had, when did we start on this? 9 o'clock yesterday morning?
Yeah.
So we had 6 hours yesterday and probably about the same today in it, so not too bad for pulling the motor out, basically pulling it apart. We put new rods and all that stuff in it. You guys seen all that stuff, so but hopefully you like the video. Something a little different anyway. Not everybody shows their mistakes on YouTube, do they? It's all good now. You just need to sell it. It'll be sold. It will be sold, but we always have more of these things, so hopefully you guys seen the little extra step we went to make this thing right. So, but not gonna make much money. We're probably losing money on this one, so it is what it is. But yeah, hopefully you guys liked the little build series. I think there's like 5 or 6 videos in this thing, so you guys are catching this one at the end. You might want to click on the description, see the previous stuff. I got this dozer back in here. We got to build an attachment for another YouTuber, so if you guys want to see what that attachment might be, you might want to stick around and subscribe so you don't miss out on that. So I'd liked what you've seen today. Give us a big thumbs up, even though it was thumbs down for us. What are you doing down there, Shorty?
I'm in the pit, man.
You are. All right, we'll catch you guys next time.